over read God Stay Song. Tell a friend to tell a friend, it's time to log in. Matter of fact, I want to let you know, for those who did log in right now, I want to thank you. Thank you, sincerely thank you for logging in, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining the second episode of Just My Thoughts. That means if you're here right now, ladies and gentlemen, I must have said something that piqued your interest. And if I'm doing that, ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your support. I thank you for your subscription. I thank you for you sharing. I thank you for you just standing strong and supporting me, because that's all we need right about now, support. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's dive right into it. Let's dive right into it. I just want to know. It's not my business. I don't care. You're wondering why I'm standing in front of this library. You're wondering why I'm asking you. It's not my business. I don't care. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we love to tell each other not everybody thinks the same. We love to say it's not my business. I don't care. Well, I'm about to show you two things right now, ladies and gentlemen, in a matter of 1 minute. Everybody doesn't think the same, but yet still, we all have a library card. We was taught to come to the library to do our research, projects, so on and so forth. But yet still, we don't think the same. That's one. Check that over. It's not my business. I don't care. Damn sure right about that one, ladies and gentlemen. You don't care. That's the only thing that you're right about, ladies and gentlemen, because to be honest with you, it is your business. You see, this library right here is a place that was built for us, that when all else fails, we can come and get our information, so that way we are educated and not walking around here like zombies. So what do I mean by that, ladies and gentlemen? I'm just saying, let's stop with the excuses. Let's stop with the bullshit. What does "it's not my business, I don't care" mean? Please tell me. Because growing up, when my mom sent my brother and I to the store, you know what I mean, to get stuff, bringing back the stuff was important, yes. But also, if she sent me with my brother, I had to come back with my brother. If I didn't come back with my brother, something was wrong. I had to answer to that. I couldn't tell my mom, "It's not my business, I don't care." You crazy? You lost your mind? And I guarantee you, your mom would have said the same thing to you, or your cousin would say the same thing, or you could probably say the same shit. Yeah, growing up, that's exactly what would happen. So what happened now, ladies and gentlemen? Can you please tell me what happened now? Why is it that we refuse to grab a book? Why is it that we refuse to come to a library? It's free. It's free. But yet we running around here with information that's false, that costs us more than free information, ladies and gentlemen. Free information. What's up with that? It's not my business. I don't care. Technically, I shouldn't be here right now because it's not my business. I don't care. Is that true? Would I be wrong for adapting that principle? I just need to know, ladies and gentlemen, because truth be told, how do I look knowing that I know something that can save you, and I don't say nothing and allow you to fall into peril? How would I feel, ladies and gentlemen? How would I feel? I'm just trying to figure that out, because everybody's telling me about it's not their business. They don't care. Tell me, son, you don't remember when your mom sent you to the store and you had to come back? Matter of fact, when you went to a house party and you went out with Jamie, you and Jamie had to come back, or else it was a problem. It was a problem. It's not my business. I don't care. That's like telling me you hanging out with your friend at the bar and your friend gets into something, and all of a sudden, at the end of everything, you're telling your friend, "Yo, listen, it's not my business. I don't care." That sounds like fighting words to me, ladies and gentlemen. Sound like complete fighting words to me. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're doing is really executing a very nasty habit, something that will hurt your children in the future. Let me bring it to you that way. Because if you're training me to understand that it's not your business, you don't care. What you think I'm going to do when I encounter your siblings? I'm going to adapt the same principle that you just taught me, that you used on me. It's not my business. I don't care. It's a free public library. I don't see nobody walking into it. But I see everybody with $1 million ideas. But nobody ever gave thought or even came to the library to even see if it was actually positive thoughts. See if they have valid ideas. Nobody. Nobody whatsoever. But I hear everybody talking big shit. Talking big shit. It's not my business. I don't care. Not my business. I don't care. Would have had me fucked up. My ass would have been sore for days, ladies and gentlemen. Back in my day, it's not my business. I'm just going to walk on the bus and walk over somebody's foot. I don't care. That would have had me fucked up on that bus, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. It's not my business. I don't care. What does that mean? What are you saying to me? What are you saying to yourself? What do you want me to do? How do you want me to interpret that, ladies and gentlemen? Because truth be told, to me, that sounds like fighting words. That sounds like you don't give a fuck about me, only about what you do. And if that's the case, ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you this one logical question. How do you expect me to feel on the other end? Did you ever think about that? We're doing too much of breaking each other down. We're doing too much of hurting each other. When you look in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen, what you see is not yourself, ladies and gentlemen. It's a human being, ladies and gentlemen. When you look at somebody else, that person could be your son, your brother, your father, your mother, but yet and still, it's not your business. You don't care. How about you when you're in need and you came to somebody and they said, it's not you. It's not my business. I don't care. Tell me then, what then would you do? How would you feel? Until the next segment, ladies and gentlemen, try to keep your head. Try to look at the other person like you would look at yourself, ladies and gentlemen. I'm realizing now that a lot of us don't really care about ourselves, but I'm asking you to care about somebody else and stop using your children as shields, saying that you care about them, because truth be told, if it's not my business, I don't care. How do you care about your children, ladies and gentlemen? Because that's applicable for all, not one. And if you feel disagreeable, drop a comment, drop a like, drop a share, subscribe, do whatever. It don't matter. But communicate with me so that way I can know what you feel like, because I'm telling you how I feel like, ladies and gentlemen. It's wrong. You know the vibes. We in the hood. God stay sold. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It's time to log in. Jersey, stand up. It's a free library. I love that. Even the birds hang out here. It's a free library, ladies and gentlemen.